All right, y'all. So my baby wanted some pasta this weekend, and so did I. Whenever we get our menstrual cycles are synced within days of each other. So whenever we get those cravings for like something sweet, spicy, and like carby and shit, we always go for like the pasta. So this is what I put up in this sauce here. Obviously ground beef. I have a frozen bag of like peppers and onions. I also cut up some red onions, put that in there. Used a can of stewed tomatoes. Then of course, I seasoned the ground beef with the seasonings that I have, and then lastly, I put in some pesto. Two different types of pesto. I like to use different types of pestos or whatever because it just adds a new dimension, new flavor. They have all kind of different pestos. Regular pesto, Parmesan pesto. I have basil pesto, and I also have, let me show you guys. I have basil pesto right here. This is really good. And then I have this pesto right here. Sweet and spicy pepper pesto. Okay, so they have different types. This is the same company that actually makes spaghetti and pasta noodles. Okay, so I put that up in there. Both different types of pesto, and then the last thing I'm going to put in here is, and I put some minced garlic in here as well. So last thing I'll put in here is the whipping cream to give it that creamy consistency. All right, and then I have my pasta noodles boiling. So once that's finished, I empty out the water, and I actually put a little bit of minced garlic inside of the water. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Minced garlic and pink Himalayan sea salt. Okay. So it is bubbling up pretty nicely, and we're gonna add in the whipping cream, and I also have some garlic butter that I'm going to put in here too as well, which helps a lot with my salads. All right, this is garlic and herb butter. So once I mix in the sauce with the noodles, I'm going to be adding that in there. Okay, I have Parmesan cheese and Parmesan Romano cheese. So I will be, once I add it all in there, once I add it all in there, it'll be really, really, really good. So it's bubbling up really nicely. Okay. Oh, I forgot to put a bay leaf in here, so I'm gonna throw a bay leaf up in here as well. I should have started when I like cooked the meat. All right, so we got the bay leaf up in there, y'all. I should have put it in there earlier. Most of my meals consist of bay leaf. When I'm making any type of like stewed meats or pasta, or even when I'm making rice, if I don't have thyme or other kind of herb, if I don't have thyme, then I will use a bay leaf. I always put bay leaf in my cooking. A lot of cultures do. Caribbeans, Africans, Asians, all kinds of cultures. Everybody adds their bay leaves, especially when it comes to meat. It just brings out a really wonderful flavor. See how beautiful that is? Look at all that color. You can see the minced garlic, you can see the tomatoes, you can see the onions, you can see everything. It's really, really beautiful. Now I just ran out of whipping cream. I think my daughter might have got to it. So we're going to use some evaporated milk. I always use it as a substitute. If I don't have whipping cream, I usually use this, or I'll use sour cream, and even in some instances I even used cottage cheese. Okay, so I just do what I gotta do to get that creamy flavor. But yeah, normally I would put like the heavy whipping cream, but this time I used this right here, so evaporated carnation milk. Okay, I'm gonna save some of that for the ramen. I'm really good at making ramen. You guys can check out my other GHETTO Gourmet videos. Most videos I'm not really talking, but this video right here I'm talking a little bit more. All right, so now you can see how it kind of has that milky looking look now. So we're gonna let it cook, and then what I'm going to do is, what I should have did was cut up some beef sausages and throw those inside of it. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do next. Alright, so I basically just cut up a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. I made them very, very thin. You see how thin they are? I made them very, very thin. Okay, so it can cook easily and fast. I should have cooked it before when I was cooking the meat by itself, but no worries. It's cut so, I sliced it so thin. They call it julienne for all my culinary people out there. I learned that term back in the early 2000s when I used to work at the Baltimore Orioles Stadium. I learned how to julienne. I learned how to prep. I was a steward. I used to wash dishes. So I used to help the prep cooks and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why I learned the term julienne. It means to slice something very, very thin, like paper thin. So I sliced it pretty thin, so it should be able to cook with the gravy and everything like that. Should be able to cook. Alright, just to add a little bit of some dimension to it. Another trick that I did with my noodles is I put sometimes I may put garlic or even red onions in the water while I'm boiling the noodles, just so the noodles can have a garlicky, red oniony type of aftertaste. And sometimes instead of boiling it in water, I may boil it in chicken broth. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you're doing chicken Alfredo, I would boil it in chicken broth. You know what I'm saying? Or you can mix it up, half water, half chicken broth type thing. So I did put a little bit of chicken broth in there, a little bit of garlic onion, just so the noodles can have its own kind of flavor going into it. So yeah, so we're just gonna pretty much wait for the noodles to get soft. Drain the pan, and then add this to it, and we'll be all done. Okay, so I've already combined the noodles and the sauce. I strained the noodles already, so I added the sauce in there. So this is some garlic herb butter and Parmesan cheese and Parmesan Romano cheese. So we're gonna switch it back in. Turn the fire on, because I had to stop the noodles from cooking by pouring cold water over it for a few minutes to kind of slow it down a little bit. So yeah, so now we're warming it back up. I'm adding the Parmesan cheese, the garlic parm. And you see how it's making its own sauce. Okay, so I might add a little bit more Italian seasoning, like the herb seasoning. I'm gonna add a little bit more, and add some shredded cheese to it, and just sit back and just kind of let it do its thing here. But as you can see, I'm just making sure that it's all even here, right? So alright guys, so looking good. Garlic herb butter, Parmesan cheese. I might put in some more pesto. And I've already used the rest of the evaporated milk already. I already used that already. So yeah, and then it's pretty much done. I'm gonna add a little bit more pesto, a little bit more, let's see what I got right here. I just want a little bit more herbs here. So I got Italian seasoning here. So just gonna add a little bit more green. Mind you, the noodles have been cooking in water with minced garlic in there and Himalayan sea salt. So the noodles are already gonna have a slight garlicky taste, and I love that. So this is basically a sweet and spicy pesto pasta. Okay. So all I have to do is just add in the shredded cheese, a little bit more of the pesto, and it's pretty much ready to serve. I did add a little bit of spinach on top, a little bit more cheese, Parmesan cheese, and a little bit more shredded cheese just on top. And now I'm just gonna let it slowly simmer, because the noodles are pretty much done. So I just have to pretty much warm it up a little bit, and it'll be ready to serve. Okay, so the pasta is all done, and I'm about to get ready and serve. I did put a little bit of spinach in there, and stuff like that. So it's good. So this is like a um, sweet and spicy pesto pasta with ground beef and sausage.